This is shrimp and grits, and I love this recipe. It's a Lowcountry classic. It's not the easiest recipe, but once you get it, you'll have it. So we're gonna start by making grits. You can make grits with water or half and half or cream. You can add cheese, you can do whatever. I'm feeling purist today, so I'm just gonna do water and butter, salt, and grits. The ratio of grits to water is 1 to 4, so that's going to remain the same, but they're going to cook a bit and long, so you may need to add more liquid. So slowly pour in the grits while whisking, and you'll need to take care to watch the grits for the entire time that they're cooking. There are some instant grits, so follow the package instructions if you need to. So I'm going to set that aside, stir it all the time so it doesn't stick like cream of wheat. And we're going to make a roux. So we've got equal parts butter and flour, and just bringing it in a saucepan to medium heat. But we're going to watch this carefully, and I'm just showing you grits. You've got to keep stirring. Have the spatula ready. Roux can burn really fast and really easy, so be a part of this process and take the time. The great thing is that it freezes. If you have too much, you can freeze it. You can do this ahead of time and set aside. You can stop at whatever color you like, but I'm going for a darker brown color, and I'm showing you this how it's all turning out because you can see how fast it turns. Like right here, I'm like, oh, okay, this is getting close. This is getting really close, and I can see it burning on the side, and I should take it off right now. I let it go a minute more, a second more, and that's fine too, but you can see that it's starting to burn on that hot side of the pan. So it's over. If you needed to stop cooking, take it out of the pan and set it aside. So definitely get it out of the hot pan once it's the color that you want. All right, so I'm going to set this aside just for later and get going. But first I'm going to show you the grits because it's just a constant reminder. Stir the grits, unless you got instant grits, by the way. But you can also serve this with rice if you really wanted. But next we're going to move on to making the shrimp dish. And so we've got a big stock pot. I'm going to bring it to medium-high heat and add some high-heat oil like safflower or vegetable oil. And then add in some sliced andouille sausage. You can also use kielbasa, which is what I have today, so I'm going to use that. But these are generally cooked. You can do it uncooked, but these are slices. I had too much in the pan. I'm going to have to do this in 2 batches. Do that for 3 to 4 minutes on each side or until it's a little bit curled and brown. At this point, add in the bacon, and today I have pancetta, and it makes this recipe a little bit easier because it's already diced for me. So there's a lot of grease in this pan. I'm going to take a little bit out. It's totally your preference. I'm showing you the packages so that you know that you have different options. You can use andouille or kielbasa. You can use bacon or pancetta, whatever makes your life easier, whatever's available at the grocery store. So there's a little bit of oil in the pan, and there's a lot of salt from the bacon, and but I'll add a little bit more salt when I'm cooking these vegetables. So there's salt and there's pepper in there. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of the sausage grease back in because you want it to be lightly coated. At this point, this is cooked for several minutes or until it's translucent, and I'm adding the garlic with a little bit more oil for 1 to 2 minutes or until that garlic is fragrant. So add back in the andouille, the bacon, and you're going to stir that all around, and you're going to add all of the spices, the broth. There's some lemon zest in there that I think is pretty, it's not traditional, but I love it. All right, we're going to bring that to a boil, and we're going to stir the grits. At this point, the grits are done. You can add some more water. You can add half and half. You can add cheese if you like. We're going to set it aside and move on to the roux. So add all of the roux, and it's important that when you add the roux that it's boiling, or else it's not going to thicken. Then you simmer that covered for about 15 minutes. You can see that it's pretty thick there. I'm going to go ahead and add the shrimp because the shrimp will release some liquid. If not, I could add 1/4 of a cup or 1/2 cup of water or broth. Cover that and stir it until the shrimp are done, and that will be just a couple minutes depending on the size of your shrimp. And let it rest like 5 minutes so that it'll thicken, and it's ready. So you can find the recipe on eatsimplefood.com.